So, picture this. The biggest war in human history has just ended. The entire world is breathing this huge sigh of relief. But for just a handful of pilots high in the sky over Japan, the war is about to get more violent and more tragic than ever. All right, let's get into this unbelievable story.
And that, right there, is the crazy central truth of what we're talking about today. On the very same day that peace was declared, one last brutal dogfight took place. A battle that, by all accounts, should never, ever have happened. Okay, so let's set the scene. We're going to take you right into the cockpit, high in the skies near Tokyo. A final American mission is wrapping up, and it's just moments away from turning into a massive celebration. The date is August 15, 1945. You've got Lieutenant Howdy Harrison, and he's leading a squadron of 6 F-6F Hellcats. Their job is a fighter sweep, and their target is the Atsugi Airfield. They are armed, they are ready, and their fingers are literally on the triggers. But just as Harrison is diving in for the attack, this message just crackles through the static on his radio. And just like that, everything stops. The war, the fight they've been in for years, it's done. Can you even imagine the relief? So how do they react? Well, with pure, absolute joy. The radio just erupts with cheers. These guys are throwing their Hellcats into victory rolls and loops. I mean, they are literally dancing in the sky. They're going home. The fighting is finished. Or so they thought.
But while the Americans are up there celebrating, on the other side, that very same news is being met with something totally different. Not relief, but pure rage. And this is where the story takes a really dark and very sudden turn.
Watching all this celebration from below is Japanese Navy Lieutenant Yutaka Morioka. He gets the exact same command from his superiors, a direct order from the Emperor himself. Cease fighting. And this is just wild, right? You have these two completely opposite worlds colliding in the exact same moment. For the Americans, it's joy. For Morioka, it's humiliation, it's anger. He's literally feeling phantom pains in a hand he lost fighting American bombers. And as he watches them celebrate, he makes a decision that will change everything.
He does the unthinkable. He disobeys a direct order from his emperor. And with that cry, he leads his squadron into the sky for one final, vengeful attack. You know, this isn't an act of war anymore. The war is over. This is an act of pure defiance.
And just like that, the sky transforms. One second it's a party, the next, it's a desperate fight for survival. Suddenly, this call just rips through the radio chatter. An American pilot spots them. This is a classic textbook ambush, and the Hellcats are caught completely, totally by surprise. And here's the thing, they are in a really, really bad spot. The Japanese fighters are diving on them from 4,000 feet above. In a dogfight, that is everything. They have the height, they have the speed, and they have the complete element of surprise. I mean, you can just feel the shock in Harrison's voice. He's screaming orders, dump your extra tanks, dump your rockets. They have to get light, and they have to get light right now. The ceasefire has been broken, and this is a fight to the death.
What follows is just absolute chaos. A swirling, desperate dogfight, the very last of World War II, fought in the first few minutes of peace. The irony is just staggering. So the sky just erupts into these separate little battles. You've got Harrison going head-to-head with the enemy leader. You've got other pairs of pilots just fighting for their lives against impossible odds. And it all leads to a final, tragic ambush that seals the fate of the American commander. Now Harrison is a seriously skilled pilot, and he gets locked into this intense, spiraling duel. He pulls off this incredible move. He yanks his Hellcat into this violent, steep climb, trading his speed for altitude. It's a huge gamble, but it works, forcing the Japanese fighter to fly right across his nose.
The Japanese plane just can't keep up. It stalls and starts to fall. Harrison rolls over, lines up the shot, and his .650 caliber machine guns just tear the enemy plane apart. It's one small victory, but this fight is a long, long way from being over. But yeah, a victory like that is fleeting. Even with some brilliant flying, the sheer chaos of this ambush begins to take its brutal toll. Elsewhere in the sky, it's going really bad. Two other pilots, Soloff and Mandeberg, are just getting hammered by enemy fire. There's an explosion, and Mandeberg's Hellcat is just gone, a ball of fire falling into the ocean. Soloff's plane is shot to ribbons, and he's forced to bail out, his fate totally uncertain. 6. Remember that number. 6 American pilots who, just a few minutes ago, were celebrating the end of the war, celebrating the fact that they were finally going home.
And this is the number of them that made it back. Of the 6 pilots who flew into that celebration, only 2 would survive the ambush that followed.
For the survivors, landing back on the carrier USS Yorktown, well, it wasn't a victory celebration. It was just this quiet, somber accounting of a completely senseless loss.
And here's the final, grim tally. 4 American pilots, including their commander, Howdy Harrison, were killed. 9 Japanese pilots also lost their lives. That's 13 men who died in a battle fought after the war was officially over. A tragic, final postscript written in blood and smoke. And that leaves us with this final, really heavy question, doesn't it? This whole battle, fought in the opening moments of peace, it forces you to ask, when peace is declared, does the violence truly end? Does an order to ceasefire just magically extinguish the hatred, the anger, and the desire for revenge that a war ignites? It's something to think about.